Hey everybody, this is a Review Revolution coming at you with the next in the DC Universe Wave 8, Vigilante. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, wait a minute, isn't Vigilante a cowboy? Well, yeah, if you've seen the Justice League Unlimited series, you remember correctly. If you read the comics in the 40s, or have any of the comics of the 40s, or looked up any of the comics in the 40s, yeah, he was a cowboy. But just like Mr. Terrific, they did take some Golden Age heroes and in the mid-'80s, or early 80s in this case, kind of revamp them and bring them back into the DC Universe. In this case, as a ski instructor. Not really. But he does look like one. He looks like one, to me. Looking at the pack, now, I don't remember about Wave 7, but I believe Wave 8 is actually the first wave that started to introduce kind of the inside bubble kind of molding, in this case crosshairs, to kind of go with his character. Something new, something different for the pack, not really a whole lot. Not all the characters had it, but for certain ones, they did put it in there. And as a matter of fact, actually, they did do it in Wave 7 because I remember Black Canary has the radiating canary call, or whatever. So no, it did start in Wave 7, but yeah, it is carried through to Wave 8. On the back of the pack, we've got the other figures: Mr. Terrific, Vigilante, Dr. Fate, Hawkgirl, Parademon, Gentleman Ghost, Commander Steel, and Giganta. So, a very, very cool wave. Very, very cool characters, actually. I have to say, overall, the one I am least interested in is Commander Steel. He does have the upper and middle torso of Giganta, so he's pretty important to have. But probably the least interesting to me. All the others, very cool. I'm really going to enjoy kind of going over them. In this case, for Vigilante, for the new Vigilante, as District Attorney Adrian Chase grew weary and frustrated by the limits of the law. When a firebomb killed him and his family, Chase, dead for 7 minutes, was reborn as the Vigilante, remorseless enemy of crime. As the Vigilante, Chase blurs the line between hero and villain, deliberately executing his enemies and becoming more and more reckless. His former friends want to help Chase, but he himself says that Chase is dead, only the Vigilante remains. You know, from what I can remember, I think that Adrian Chase, as the Vigilante, actually was a little bit more careful and not very reckless. It's just that over time he became worse. Eventually, I think he even gave up his mask and went full Punisher on everybody. And then somebody else kind of took over the costume, and he had to go hunt him down. So it's one of the things where I think that may be how he finally ended up, but I think originally he was actually a little more careful in the beginning. He wasn't quite so gung-ho. But eventually he got there. First appearance, New Titans number 23, September 1982 as Chase. The New Teen Titans, annual number 2, 1983 as Vigilante. Real name, Adrian Chase. Occupation, former District Attorney, Vigilante. Base of operations, New York City. Special abilities, expert in knife combat. Diverse fighting styles. Superb marksmanship. Infrared goggles allow him to see in the dark. Single-minded, ruthless desire for justice. So, I guess we have we have Harvey Dent using the Frank Castle style of law enforcement. Interesting. But we'll take a moment. We'll pop Vigilante out of the pack and get a close look at the figure. So we'll be right back. Okay, well, now the Vigilante is loose. We can get a look at the figure and really kind of, see how it turned out. I have to say, with the black bodysuit, the black and white bodysuit, and the blue and gray lines carrying on through the mask and the upper part of the chest, I still think he looks like a ski instructor. He still looks like he's somebody who would be right at home out on the slopes. It's just, I don't know. Is this what we called cool in the 80s? I suppose. Taking a look at the figure, though, as far as the overall figure goes, you know, pretty nice, kind of just a matte black. I don't know how well you can see it against the backdrop, but just kind of a matte black color. The lines that I mentioned before, very clean, very nice. As with Mr. Terrific, with a paint job like this, any kind of smudges or anything like that would really stand out and quickly draw away from the overall character. But in this case, it's all done very, very well. Even to the point when you look at the top where the two pieces of the torso come together, they actually line the lines up pretty good. So I would definitely say, you know, a plus on that. For the boots are just white, and they've got the kind of the black lines on them, and again, very nice. Can't even really see the spray lines on them, really. I mean, that is just a very, very nice application. Very nice. For the gloves, now the gloves are, I believe, an original sculpt, and the recessed areas actually are painted in black, so I think it was probably a little bit harder to get that in. They did a great job on it. Just on the top of this hand right here is the only spot where it looks like it didn't quite make it all the way around. But I mean, really, that's just nitpicking. That's nothing. That's nothing major. In the way of his accessory, well, just one other part of him on the mask. It's like a translucent red, and on the bottom, it didn't quite get completely painted. So I think that the visor is probably paint-wise the weakest, and that is such a small part of it that, I mean, you can definitely just let it go. You could just let that go. In the way of his his articulation, it is on a ball joint, and because it's just a standard masked head, has full range of movement. The shoulder goes up, around, twist at the bicep, elbow, and wrist. Standard torso pieces, so the crunch is very good. Twist. Now he does have a bit of a kind of utility belt, if you will, that's permanently attached, but in no way limits the twist. The legs come up, out, twist at the thigh, knee, boot, or foot. So everything's pretty standard. Almost like the boot might have had a twist, but yeah, none of the other DC Universe figures have it, so it'd been kind of strange for him to be the only one. Getting into his accessories, I guess going back to the belt real quick, he does actually have a holster, which inside comes with a nice little revolver, kind of blue-handled revolver. Maybe a bit of a tribute to the cowboy. He came with the Uzi rubber band to his hand. So when an accessory comes rubber banded on a character like this, I kind of think they know something I don't. So I just usually leave it. He also comes with a rifle, which, because of the way it was packed, is terribly, terribly warped. It'll definitely need to be straightened out and heated up and just kind of reworked. It does fit into his hand to the point where his finger actually can go into the trigger. And he has a strap for it, which is very reminiscent of Deathstrike, the Terminator. But I think Deathstrike actually outranks him on accessories a bit. Now, Vigilante also comes with the left leg of Giganta. So we've got the legs. Going to be moving on to the rest of her pretty soon. Got the anklet on there. But this has been a look at the DC Universe Wave 8 Vigilante. Hopefully in the future we'll get the cowboy version of him. But for now, this is the Review Revolution saying rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution, and see you soon. Bye-bye.